I'll be at events, and I've had more men find me at an event and say, thank you so much for offering me this time with my child. And so it's been really amazing to see the uptake on both sides.
That was Purvi Tailor, VP and Head of Human Resources for Ferring USA. We spend a lot of time on this show talking about fertility treatments, the cost of these treatments, and fertility benefits and coverage that people can get from their employers. When we talk about this, we often encourage people to talk to HR, as when people ask HR for benefits like these, well, that's often when they get them. So today, we wanted to take a closer look at HR, and we knew that there was no better way to do that than to speak directly to an HR leader. And we're not only going to discuss the progeny benefit, we're also going to ask her about Ferring's exciting package called Building Families at Ferring, a package that includes the progeny benefit, as well as an extremely expansive leave policy for those building their families. I'm Dan Bolger with Progeny, and this is Infertility.
Hey, I'm Purvi Tailor, and I'm Head of Human Resources at Ferring Pharmaceuticals in the U.S. We are a privately owned biopharmaceutical company, and our mission is to help people build families and live better lives.
It's pretty clear why an employee would want their employer to offer the progeny benefit. But here we had the opportunity to ask an HR leader why they chose to offer this benefit.
So we chose to add progeny. We started with you in 2020, and we did that because we really wanted fertility treatments to be between the doctor and the patient, and we didn't want any restrictions on that. And so at the time, through the research that we did, Progeny was the market leader, and we know that you have great relationships with many of the clinics, and your philosophy also matched ours, and so we decided that would be a good partnership for us. So the bundled plan design for us works really well because we want the decision to be what is in the best interest of the patient, and we want them to be less concerned about the financial burden and more focused on doing what will help them build the family that they want. And the bundled approach really helps us accomplish that.
Yes, Progeny proved to be a great fit for Ferring as our missions perfectly align. And then, after adding Progeny, Ferring took another impressive step towards bringing their mission to life for their employees.
I think in 2022, what we did was we really changed the game by launching a market-leading package called Building Families at Ferring. It's a holistic package with 3 tiers. The first tier is unlimited financial support that you may require to build your family. And that is offered regardless of the role the employee has, the market that they're located in, or the specific journey that they might be on, whether it's a natural birth, whether you're going through an adoption, et cetera. We also, as the second part of the package, we have what I consider very much a groundbreaking 26 weeks of paid parental leave, which we are using as a global standard. And that applies to both the birthing parent as well as the non-birthing parent. And the third pillar of our package is just the level of support and awareness that you see in the workplace. And so we do a lot of programming on that as well. So, I'm really proud that we started to offer this benefit in 2022, and that really has enabled us to expand the partnership that we have with you at Progeny as well.
This is a great example of a company going above and beyond to ensure that every employee has access to the real support that they need.
So I think building families at Ferring is an incredible benefit. I wish that I had that for sure when I went through my journey. And I think the reaction from employees has been very, very positive, again, both from the birthing parent as well as the non-birthing parent. I'll be at events, and I've had more men find me at an event and say, thank you so much for offering me this time with my child. And so it's been really amazing to see the uptake on both sides, not just the women who might be giving birth, but the fathers who are welcoming the child. And we've also seen employees start to take advantage of the adoption and the surrogacy benefits that we offer. So it's just exciting to see us being able to support our employees in this way.
The program is a great way for Ferring to support their people and honor their mission. And when employers offer things like this, not only do they get to know that they're doing the right thing, but they also get a lot in return as well.
As an employer, I think we are a people-first culture, and this building families at Ferring package obviously is an amazing way for us to be able to demonstrate that, not only because it's core to the business that we're in, but it also sends a message to the employee base that is currently here, because I think it helps us retain the talent that we have. But I think it's also attractive for potential people that might come and work for us, because it's, again, a way that we live into our mission as a company, not just for our patients, but for the colleagues that work right next to us here. So I think we feel really, really, really good about that.
When it comes to any of these employer benefits, poor utilization can really mean the death to any given employer-sponsored benefit. But when it comes to fertility and family-building benefits, usually utilization isn't an issue. The people who need this benefit will use this benefit.
So the milestones are something that we absolutely are watching, right? Because we want to see what the utilization is, right, of this great new package that we launched. So July 1st was our anniversary of this year. So that was a very exciting milestone for us. And from a data and milestone perspective, we know that we've had more fathers take leave this year than we had in all of 2022. And we also know that the vast majority of fathers are taking the full 6 months of leave. And when we first launched this benefit, we had some concerns because typically paternal leave is very short. And so we did a campaign around making sure that the fathers at the company felt comfortable taking advantage of this benefit. And we weren't sure, what the outcome would be. But our results in the United States for sure show that fathers are not being shy. They are taking full advantage of the 6 months, which I think is fantastic. And that is a part of the culture that we want to make sure that we have here.
6 months of leave is really quite amazing. And it's exactly the kind of thing that any parent really needs.
We are really focused on the stories, right? At the end of the day, I think it's the stories that people have that make this powerful and make people believe that they can take full advantage of the suite of benefits that are offered. So we have both men and women talking about the leaves that they take, whether they ended up doing it for 4 months, 5 months, or 6, and just the time that they had with their child and the ability that time gave them to really focus on building their families, establishing those family norms, and really bonding with that child without the distraction of work. And you can't really put a price on that, right? Because that's time that you don't get back. And that's what many of our employees say when they come back to work, say, that was incredible. And they feel very supported to take whatever time is good for them.
In the past, it wasn't always like this. Employers didn't cover things like fertility, and they certainly didn't provide anywhere near the level of support that Ferring is offering with their Family Building at Ferring package. But times have changed, and more employers are actively searching for ways to bring fertility and family building benefits to their people.
I think gone are the days where employers have the luxury of not thinking about what can help drive retention. Right, in the workforce that we have of today, they have a lot of choices. And so I do think benefits, whether it's fertility benefits or any of the many different types of benefits that exist, these are great ways to attract and retain employees. I also think that, once you have even a handful of those benefits, they are very, very important in terms of creating a much more positive employee experience, which ultimately I think does drive engagement. And all the research shows that if you have better engagement, you have better performance. And if you have better performance, your business will probably do better. So I think it's a win-win. And it's a shame if people look at it just from a financial cost, because there's probably a balance on the other side where the employer would probably reap a benefit from it in increased productivity and retention, which we all know, when you don't have those two things, that also costs money. So again, I'd encourage employers to also take a look at it with that lens in mind.
Purvi knows firsthand how impactful benefits like this can really be for people.
Personally, having gone through my own journey, I find so much meaning in building families at Ferring. And I know for me, I can't even imagine having such an incredible, comprehensive set of benefits that would have been available. And so I feel amazing. I feel so proud that, I'm in a position now in the role that I happen to be in at this point in time that, I can be the spokesperson for this type of a benefit, because I know not just from my own experience, but from employees, like I said, that reach out to me and say, wow, this was incredible. I know what a big difference it's going to make and currently does make for anyone that's accessing it. And that's an amazing feeling to know that you're making a difference. At the end of the day, I think that's why we're here.
By adding Progeny and then expanding their benefit package even further, Ferring is really moving the needle for their employees. And here's the thing, other employers can absolutely follow suit.
Listen, I would encourage any manager of benefits to start looking at this, no matter what size the company that you work in is. I think it's important to look at your workforce, see what you believe would benefit them the most, and to keep in mind that you don't have to do it all at once. Right? We were in a position to launch in 2022 an extremely comprehensive package, and not everyone can do that. But I think it's important to ask yourself the question of, is increased fertility coverage the thing that our folks need? Is it extra leave? I also think there is a lens of inclusion that you can look at. When you look at the leave policy that you have, is it only for birthing mothers? What about the fathers? What happens if you adopt a child? What happens if you use a surrogate? So I think there's many ways to expand benefits that are financial, but also looking at your benefits through that lens of inclusiveness is just as important.
Building families at Ferring is a really impactful demonstration of what true support from an employer can look like. Progeny gets to partner with a lot of companies who share this mindset. Companies that know that providing support for life's key milestones is not only something that they can do, but it's something that they really should do.
We are really proud to have this partnership with Progeny as a way to help our Building Families at Ferring package come to life. Our goal is to help people build families, no matter where they live, who they love, or what their family structure looks like. And this partnership with you really helps us do that. So thank you.
And we at Progeny are really proud to partner with Ferring as well. I want to thank Purvi Tailor for joining the show today, and I want to thank you for joining too. Here's a reminder that if you want to bring benefits like the ones you heard about here today to your employer, your best first step is to talk to the benefits or HR department at your place of work. We have resources that can help you at progeny.com/talktohr. If you want to connect with us, you can do so at Instagram on This Is Infertility Podcast. If you want to follow Progeny, you can do that at Progeny Inc. Of course, if you're listening on a podcast app, please leave a rating and review. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. This Is Infertility is brought to you by Progeny. Please remember, this podcast is not intended to substitute for the personalized medical advice of your physician. I'm Dan Bolger, and this is Infertility.